Hello and welcome, my underwear hoarders. It's SJB here, and you might have noticed that there's some weird towers on the screen. What is going on? Well, from the title, you probably already know. Yeah, so this is all unnecessary. But anyways, one weird thing about sandbox mode in BTD6 is that you're not allowed to get all the towers. It's probably one of the worst things about BTD6. And it makes doing videos like this very difficult to do, because when I want to do videos about a Paragon monkey, I can't just go in sandbox mode, test him out, and show him off in all his mighty glory. When I'm trying to do a video about a true sun god or a vengeful sun god, it's not possible for me to get this guy, and it sucks that's not possible in sandbox mode. So today, what I decided to do was do some real-life testing for you guys on Paragon monkeys, but specifically on the lowest level of them all. So all of our Paragons today are going to be at level 1, or I want to call them level 0, because this is the lowest level that you can get. You cannot go any lower than this. That being said, as far as map choice was, I decided on this map because I felt like it was the most reasonable map that had kind of a good example or a good showing of how far the balloons are going to get on the screen. 3 different loops over here. Also has a spot for our boat Paragon as well, which I think is pretty important. And we can really see how powerful these guys are on their own. And as a level 0, we pop it very quickly, just over here. Next up, we've got the Paragon Degree 1 Glaive Dominus. He is going to have seemingly a little bit more range, and he's going to pop the bad a lot quicker. Kind of almost pushed him back to over here, actually. The Engineer Paragon is going to work a little bit weirdly because I have to press go on the round, and then I have to build my sentries, and we are going to play it like this. We will start the round, and then we will build the sentries. I think it's just the most fair way to play it, even though it doesn't necessarily show off the true power of the Engineer Paragon here. And yeah, we do okay. The Ascended Shadow. He's got some extreme damage here right from the get-go, and he pops the bad so quick! Almost absurdly quick. The Navarch of the Seas. So he does have an ability to insta-kill this bad as well, and we will use it if we have the ability to use it. And we do. Kablamo. Very quick pop. So I'll be showing you guys how to build this a little bit later on, but we are doing a quote-unquote base Vengeful temple test as well for you guys. This one's going to be a little bit more work for us and kind of sucktastic, but we're gonna do it for you anyways. The only question here is, do we get the super range or the knockback and the cam detection? And because we're doing a base one, we have to get the knockback and the ultravision to give this guy camo detection. So that being said, let's test out round 100 here. And against the bad balloon, we do pretty well, and once we start shooting our blast out, we destroy him with ease. Next up, we're jumping up to round 125 with our Apex Plasma Master. We are back to the beginning here. And you're noticing already that Zomagods are not exactly easy to take down in this situation. It should be noted that there are certain areas and places and positionings that maybe we could do a little bit better job with our monkeys, but I think this is a good example of what we would normally see in a game. Glaive Dominus, round 125, going pretty well so far. Still no major issues with anything. No balloons, no big balloon issues. Some of the guys are still getting taken down pretty quickly here, and round 125 goes down pretty easily. The Engineer Paragon, please remember again that we are able to position our sentries if we desire. So we could try to position this guy in a way that actually makes reasonable sense. We could also throw our things down at the very beginning here if we want to get some extra damage or a little bit quicker here. But so far, I will say that this does affect how good we are going to be for sure, because we're already struggling a little bit on round 125 here. Looks like we will take it down, but they get a lot farther than the other Paragons by a large quantity here. Woo! 125 is actually pretty terrible here. Oh my god, are we gonna lose? 125? Alright, we barely take it down, but that was difficult. Moving on to the Navarch of the Seas. Again, we got insta-kills on a lot of these big balloons here, and they just get slurped up. Even when this guy's not insta-killing them, these aces just take these things down. But the ceramics are going to be a little trickier for us, for sure. It seems like he's much weaker against the balloons, though not bad. He still has a really cool grape shot looking attack here and everything with these ridiculous, juicy guns here. And round 125 does get taken down pretty easily. Ascended Shadow absolutely owned the bad. Will he still continue to own all of these guys? Seemingly, yes. He seems like a very good low Paragon. He insta-kills all the big bad balloons, and he's not bad at all against the ceramics with his regular attacks. He just kind of melts them. As soon as they get touched, they get dead. And 125 is easily beaten. Round 125 with the Vengeful Temple here. Going very well. I mean, his like regular extra things really aren't doing that much extra popping power, but that blast seems to be the big killer here. And we do. We beat 125 very easily. We're moving on to round 150 here, and seemingly DDTs seem to be a pretty decent issue for our Apex Plasma Master getting to the third loop over here. Regular balloons do not seem to be a big deal for us. Well, maybe a little bit bigger deal than we'd like it to be. Oh my gods, big beefy oh my gods here getting to the second level. Luckily, we do have a lot of bounce around here. It might be reinforced DDTs are too powerful for the Apex Plasma Master to take down. Around 150 is going to be the last round that this guy can beat. Moving on to the Glaive Dominus. Seems to be having an issue with actually hitting DDTs with this positioning and all that stuff, but when he did hit them, they were doing a lot of damage here and still able to take down the first set of DDTs. Moving on to Oh my God, still pretty easily getting taken down here. Nothing too crazy, but they are slowly moving on further and further in the map. Big chunk of reinforced DDTs here. It looks like those are super killer for a lot of other things, but Glaive Dominus does seem to be able to handle them. And the main thing that's actually keeping him in the game here is actually this Zelmagod slowdown. Zelmagod slowdown is pretty key here. That's like the bottom path boomerang ability, and 150 does not defeat our Glaive Dominus. I'll be honest, I do not have any faith in the engineer here. He is seemingly much better against the DDTs, though, compared to a lot of these other guys, but the Bloons are still going to be a decent issue here for us. I'm going to try to slow these guys down and actually micro properly where I attack the first Bloons instead of trying to attack all the Bloons at the same time. We're going to see if that's going to help us out a little bit. We're going to throw this guy down in the middle here because I want him to just attack whatever he wants to attack instead of having to actually try to micro positioning him or something like that. And DDTs are going to come out here quickly, but we do have that stun ability. We popped down our last sentry, and with that, we are going to take down the reinforced DDTs, I think. Kind of. It's close. Oh, baby. We take those guys down, but now we got to deal with all these balloons here, and it looks like we probably will take down around 150 with our Engineer Paragon. For struggling so much at 125, I was not expecting this. It is a welcome surprise, though. I'm always open to having things be cooler or more fun or more awesome than I expect. Oh, no! I decided to run this test one more time because maybe it was not the Engineer Paragon's fault. Maybe it was my fault, and I did not want to have that be a part of the game here. So we're going to run this on slow mode, and we're going to try to micro through anything that we can here. I also repositioned my my sentries here to make sure that I'm going to do a little bit more ceramic popping power with my purple sentry here. And it looks like we are able to most likely take down around 150. All goes well, and it does. A little slow, but we do take down around 150. Yeah, all right. We're back to the Navarch of the Seas, and the DDTs get absolutely slobber-knocked up the wazizzle. No issues there whatsoever. Zomagod's also oddly sometimes getting taken down, but not always getting taken down, which is kind of interesting. Even when DDTs get to our actual attacks, though, it seems like the attacks are taking them down. It does not need an insta-kill. And the Navarch, as per usual, dominating. Next up, we've got the Ascended Shadow, who has been, so far, very, very powerful as a level 1 Paragon, at least comparatively. He is one of the most expensive Paragons, so it does make sense for him to be fairly powerful here. But I'm actually mostly impressed not with his bombs here, which are not bad at all, but with his regular attacks. His regular attacks basically do not miss, and stun basically like keep the balloons in place and just do everything that they need to do here to make sure that we're actually going to do a great job here. And popping them on the first loop is ridiculously impressive. All right, I think it's about time to just show you guys how to get a Vengeful Temple in case you are curious. It's not that hard if you understand a couple things about the game. First of all, there are 4 different types of monkeys. There are primaries, militaries, magics, and supports. And when you're building your first Sun Temple, it does matter what you build. You want to build 3 out of the 4 types. That's all that matters. Build 3 out of the 4 types, and it will matter what you build. You will get a support temple if you use a support monkey instead of one of these 3 monkeys instead. Otherwise, you'll get these 3 things kind of as part of the temple here. When you're buying them, make sure you're spending $50,000 on your tower to get the most bang for your buck, best temple, Vengeful Temple action. If you do not spend the full $50,000, it may not turn into a Vengeful Temple. So we're going to spend more than $50,000. It doesn't matter if you spend $50,000 in $1 or $1 bajillion. It's all the same thing. So do not try to overkill it. If you can save money, save money. And when you get that, get your temple sacrifice. Next thing up, you're going to do the exact same thing. Now keep in mind, if you went for a support temple, things will be cheaper. So you got to watch what you're buying, and you don't want to accidentally undercut yourself on buying the next level, and that's why I almost never build the support one, because it can get kind of funky. So this time around, instead of buying 3 of the 4 types of monkeys, we're going to buy 4 of the 4 types of monkeys. So we're going to add in an extra engineer here and get him up to extra large trap. And now we're all set for a true sun god to be basically the most powerful he can be. But to get a Vengeful, we also have to throw down 2 extra super monkeys outside of the range of this guy up to 5th tier. We're going to get 1 anti-balloon, and we're going to get 1 Legend of the Night. Make sure, again, they're outside of the range. You cannot sacrifice them or it will not work. And then when you get your true sun god, you get a Kablamo. Not only a true sun god who's super duper powerful, but you're also going to sacrifice these guys, and he's going to turn into a Vengeful true sun god. Keep in mind that this guy can be alchemized, powered up by villages, overclocked, and get any buff that he possibly can. But Paragons are not allowed any of that, and I felt like it was fair for us to say that we should not get that either. And because of that, that's why we're going for the Ultra Vision instead of for the extra range, because we need to be able to pop DDTs. Otherwise, we will clearly lose with only 1 life. So Vengeful Temple, around 150 here. Going pretty well. Probably some of the best, if not the best, compared to all of our other Paragons here. Navarch of the Seas and Ascended Shadow, though, definitely coming in close. I'm really interested to see who's going to win this all. Now, you guys may want me to show off the Apex Plasma Master still on around 175, but I think it's pointless. He didn't get destroyed around 150, but he did lose to around 150, so I don't see the point of showing him off here. It's just going to make him look worse and worse. So we're just going to cut him out of the entire video here from now on, and we're still just going to continue on with whatever can still continue on and beat round 175. Now, it should be noted that round 175 is going to not only increase the, oh my god, the first DDT kills us easily. It's not going to increase the speed, but also the health of every single one of the Moab class balloons coming out, so it is a big, big, big jump. Alright, next up we've got the Engineer Paragon, who I thought was going to lose on round 125, or at the very most, 150, but we're still going to lose on 175. It's just too beefy for us. So far, the Ascended Shadow has been doing absolutely amazing. Let's see if he can continue that up. And so far, it looks like he will take down the DDTs. And now we've got a big bad balloon coming in here. 2 bad balloons coming in here. A couple more DDTs underneath that. And the ninja's still working his magic. Question is, will it be enough with more DDTs and balloons all over the screen here? Clearly struggling. And it looks like these bad balloons around 175 are going to be too beefy for even the Ninja Paragon to take down. Though, admittedly, he did much better than the other Paragon monkeys so far. And that leaves us with just the Boat Paragon. Can the Navarch of the Seas keep up with round 175 here? Will he be the king of the low-level Paragons? Well, we have to use this guy on the first bad, and we might even get it back for the second bad. Which almost is absurd, because that's like exactly what we need to do here, but it is part of the Paragon's ability, and I didn't pick it. It's 25 rounds, bro. It's just gotta happen. And there we go, another insta-kill on this bad. We're still doing a great job here, and it looks like around 175 is not too much for the Navarch of the Seas, and he continues on as the king of the Paragons. The Boat Paragon was able to beat 175, but it definitely struggled a little bit here. Vengeful Temple is not a true Paragon, but I wanted to include him in this test because it is one of the most powerful towers in the game. And it's good to understand whether or not you should just get a base Paragon with not very many pops and not much money invested, or just try to go for that Vengeful Temple. And it looks like Vengeful Temple is doing a great job so far. He's still struggling against group balloons and starting to get on the edge of what he can handle, but he does take round 175 pretty reasonably easily. Way too many Paragons got knocked out on round 175 for my liking, so we wanted to retest on a slightly lower round and see if any of these guys are going to be able to keep up. And it looks like the Boomer Paragon around 162 is doing a pretty good job here. He's actually taking down a lot of these Bloons, but the reinforced DDTs seem to be too much for the Boomer Paragon. He still cannot take these things down. The Engineer Paragon, again, this is a rough test for him just because he does not get these guys instantaneously, which is not really the way that it would normally be played. They would already be on the screen. Sadly, because I don't have the ability to just automatically build them instantaneously or anything like that, because I am in a challenge editor, I have to continue with it like this, and he also cannot beat round 162. Next up, we've got the Ascended Shadow, round 162, and he is probably my main contender here to actually take this thing down. Clearly, he's got DDT popping power, he's got a good Moab slowdown, he's decent against bads with that big Moab destroyer thing, whatever it's called, the Moab bomb. And it looks like round 162 for the Ninja, although extremely, extremely close, might just go our way. And the Ascended Shadow is gonna beat it. Instead of testing out round 200, we'll be testing out round 199, and that's because on round 200, there are just 2 reinforced bats. And I believe that gives a pretty strong advantage to the Navarch of the Seas, so we want to see a more realistic example of what would normally come out, which is a mixture of Moabs, DDTs, bads, and etc. The Navarch of the Seas, though, is going to finally be overwhelmed on round 199, and pretty easily at that. While the Boat Paragon was the winner of everything, will the Vengeful Temple be able to best even our Boat Paragon degree level 1? No! Not yet. We have to go back in time. Moving down to round 185, will the Navarch be able to complete this? This is only 10 rounds higher than 175, which he struggled with, but did end up beating pretty good. Alright, we do have the bad insta-kill here. He's struggling again, but he does take down all those reinforced DDTs. There was just a few too little to take him down that time around, but this time, DDTs will sneak through on round 185. Dang. So will the Vengeful Temple end up winning it all? Will he be able to, take down those reinforced DDTs that seem to be too powerful for even our Navarch of the Seas? So do, again, keep in mind that these guys are buffable, and Paragon Monkeys are indeed able to get stronger. This is only a degree level 1 Paragon, and an unbuffed Temple. It's kind of a weird test, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting, and I actually would not mind testing out something like level 25 Paragons or level 50 Paragons or something like that. But it looks like the Temple, even though it's tight, is... It's all going to depend on this range here. Will he be able to do it? 185. It's tight, but he cannot do it! The Temple on round 180. Starting off with some Oh My Gods, doing very well against them. A lot of bads and DDTs combined together here, which could be tricky for the Navarch to take down. We are going to... I believe this will be a win for our Temple. One last bad to take down, and around 180 is defeated for this guy. Can the Navarch also take it down, though? That is the last question. So some of you guys might be wondering right now, why am I going backwards in time and going down 5 rounds or 7 rounds or 10 rounds at a time and trying to figure out where I'm losing based on that instead of just playing through the entire game? And that's because playing through 100 rounds from 100 to 200 takes about an hour or so. And if I wanted to do that, it would take me through 6 different towers, about 6 hours to play through. This video, though, recording it this way, only took me about an hour and a half. So I am much happier with that timing than 6 hours, and that's why I did it this way, even though it might not be quite as organized. I thought it was fun to figure it out together. Oh, we gotta make sure we're using our abilities here, because these bads are gonna be kind of troublesome. 180, though, against the DDTs. The Navarch. Oh my god, we couldn't beat 185, but we could take down around 180, maybe? Uh-oh, this last bad could be difficult, though. No way. Are we gonna beat it? Uh-oh, this could be a bad ability timing. Wait! Second? Oh, we don't get 3 of them! We don't get 3 of them! It didn't matter. And the Navarch, sadly, can only use this ability twice in 1 turn, and run 180 will be too much for the Navarch of the Seas. So I hope you guys had fun watching this video. If you did, don't forget to press that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I actually kind of had fun doing this. And if you guys are interested in some other sort of weird, non-sandboxable test videos, let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see, and we'll try to make it happen for you guys. Just to show you guys how fast things ramp up, though, we beat, like 180 with one of these guys, but just 30 or 40 rounds deeper, and we're already extremely struggling at around 225. Of course, I'm not using my Paragon abilities, I'm not using the Sentry Paragon, or the Engineer Paragon stuff, but still, that is how ridiculous this stuff is, guys. So again, don't forget to press that like button, and let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. And of course, have a super duper delicious day.